Hi, I'm Dave Letterman. You know, whenever we come back from a vacation, we like to begin the first new show with a really cheap laugh. So that's what we're going to do now. Reverend Baker? Reverend Baker, how you doing?
What does it look like, college boy? I'm nuts. I've lost my mind. There's a giant poodle sitting on my chest.
Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, Hal, roll the opening. Nice job.
Thank you.
Where the official state fiber is asbestos. Now, a man the French call that guy on American television.
Program, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dave. Thanks for showing up here tonight. We're on a little later than normal tonight. I know you're thinking to yourself, geez, it feels about like the regular time. But we're actually here a little later tonight, aren't we? When normally we're broadcast in the Eastern time zone at... Well, no, wait a minute. Oh, what's this again?
This is NBC News
wait a minute. No,
Sunrise
exactly.
with John Palmer.
No, we're not. No, not quite yet. No, see, I forgot. We didn't quite count on that to happen then, but... All right! So instead of 12:30 now we're on, it must be close to 2, right? Because of everything that's been going on today. And welcome to the program anyway. I'm just off vacation, and my mom came to stay with me for 2 weeks. Yeah, yeah.
The entire vacation?
The entire 2 weeks, and it was fun, you know, and it was great to see Mom, and we did plenty of fun stuff. But I'm telling you, after a while, if I could just once leave the house without Mom screaming, "You want to pick me up a pack of Viceroys?" I'm telling you. Man, what time is it? It's awfully late, isn't it? Should we even be here this time of night? Oh, no, don't do that again.
This is NBC News at Sunrise with John Palmer.
All right, thank you, John. John is here. We have the whole thing. We can't do just part of it. We have to do the whole thing.
You have to do it every time.
That's right. And then the owl comes in. Howard, can we hear the owl one more time? All right, fine, thank you. Howard touching himself to make that noise. Now... But you can't. A good audio man knows exactly where to touch himself to get that noise. It's not generally known, but a few are very good. And there, well... yesterday, President Bush said that if Colombia wants them to, he'll send U.S. combat troops right down there to Colombia. And a shaken Dan Quayle phoned his father. So I don't know what's happening. And over the weekend, the annual Jerry Lewis Labor Day Telethon, they raised over $42 million. And I understand immediately following the telethon, Exxon came in and volunteered to clean Jerry's head. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and dads, and kids of all ages, you can say a lot of bad things about Leona Helmsley. But I'll give her this. When it comes to standing trial, she is twice the man Jim Baker is.
It's probably about 1:35.
1:35, so right now we're only an hour late.
An hour late.
Is there any possibility of us somehow now being even later?
If the president goes long, we're later, yes.
But he's scheduled to go how long now?
He's scheduled for a half hour, and then the Democrats are
The Democrats will rebut his position on drugs?
Right, and then...
We don't, as Democrats, we don't think they're so bad. Can't possibly be it. That can't possibly be it. And then Brant Gumbel has a little show he's put together.
But that's on early.
Huh? That's on earlier? No, that's on after.
That's on after the president, but
that's right.
Before the rebuttal.
We may not even be on now. Jeff Altman is...
Boy, you know, I knew we were on late.
Yeah,
I didn't realize
tonight.
I didn't realize we were that late.
Did you have a nice vacation?
I was everywhere this vacation.
Where'd you go?
I was in St. Louis.
Uh-huh.
We in the band played at the
That's
DuQuoin.
the gateway city, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You name me a city, I'll give you the nickname.
Okay, DuQuoin, Illinois.
DuQuoin, Illinois is the Illinois state.
That is correct. It is.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Okay, how about Duluth, Minnesota?
Duluth is the Duluthest state in Minnesota.
Yes, it is. Again, correct again, sir.
Thank you very much.
St. Paul, Minnesota.
St. Paul is the city of brotherly love.
So, I think you got that one. Is that one right?
Thank you very much. And did you have a nice time?
Yeah, but you know what struck me? I've been all these places. I've never been to me, which is a... Right.
Remember that song?
Just thought I'd try.
Who sang that?
Some gal. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was a Motown published song, though, I'll tell you that.
But I've never been to me.
Yeah.
A real heart-wrencher.
I've been undressed by kings, she said.
Yeah.
But
Undressed by kings?
Yeah, that was the lyric, but she'd never been to her.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, we gave this man, what was the man's name? What the hell was the man's name?
It was Andy.
Andy Farron. Do I have the card? Hello, do I have the card? Hello? Oh, this.
Here we go.
Thank you very much. How'd you like to be working for John Palmer? You'd be getting up about now. We gave this man Andy Farron a phone. We found him on the street and we gave him a phone. It's a cellular phone, and we thought it'd be fun to check in with him to see where he is anytime, day or night, while we're taping the show. And we've tried to call him now twice and couldn't call him before vacation. But we'll try and call him once. If we don't get to him now, it's off. The deal is off.
All right.
Very nice man. He works for Lilco out on Long Island, and people hooting Lilco. So I'm just going to dial it. One of these phones, you can take it with you anywhere. You can put it in your car. And
Cellular phone.
Cellular phone. Do you have one of those?
Yeah.
Is this phone working, by the way? Is Rooney here? Where's Rooney? Oh, I misdialed. Rooney's on vacation. All right. Is this line all right? It's fascinating so far, isn't it? 5. Okay. All right, his name is Andy Farron, and we gave him this phone, and he was going to check in with us. Paul, I can't hear anything. The piano is so dead. Is that a cellular piano, by the way? Yeah. So this should be Andy Farron, and we'll chat with him. We've been gone for 2 weeks. Seems much longer, don't you think? Yeah. And tonight we're on a little later than usual. Oh, now.
The mobile customer you are calling is not in the car or has traveled beyond the Metro One cellular service area. Please try your call again later. Thank you.
See, this is what happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, same thing.
And now we're trying it later. We thought maybe 2 weeks would be late enough.
He pledged to be by the phone at all times, didn't he?
Try one more time.
Okay.
You know, Paul, I was out in California, and there's a gas station on Pacific Coast Highway, and they had undergone a renovation, and above the pumps were big signs, big red letters, "Try our new lightweight nozzles."
That's California.
What do you think? Will they triple their business? What the hell are these lightweight nozzles? I could pump gas all day.
The mobile customer you are calling is not in the car or has traveled beyond the Metro One cellular service area. Please try your call again later. Thank you.
That's all right. We don't need this guy for real fun, ladies and gentlemen. We'll make our own fun. Mandy Patinkin, Paul, was
He
here
was
singing The 12th of Never a couple of weeks ago.
No, he did Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Is there any difference?
Well, Johnny Mathis was also here.
Oh, that's right.
He
That's
did
right.
the 12th of Never.
Mandy Patinkin. Like to have him back on the show.
Smash on Broadway,
Lovely
by the way.
voice.
Total sellout.
Let's do our top 10 list and then get on with the show. You know, it's so late, it just doesn't make any damn difference.
How late is it exactly?
Well, now, I mean, we're on, at least at the minimum, we're on now an hour late. So that starts us now. We're looking at 1:45. You know anybody aside from Chris? No, this...
This is NBC
No,
News
not
at
yet.
Sunrise.
Get out
with
of here.
John
Stop
Palmer.
it. All right. From the home office in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, here we go. Top 10 Colombian tourist slogans. You know, they're having trouble down there.
So I
The
understand.
government has waged all-out war against the drug lords, and it's a big, bloodthirsty shootout in Colombia. In fact, maybe that would be a slogan, big, bloodthirsty shootout.
So I guess it's hard to get tourists down there.
That's
They need
right.
some kind of an advertising gimmick so that people will feel like traveling down.
Exactly. These would be the new top 10 slogans.
Fabulous.
Here we go. Number 10. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we're very, very late, and I'm awfully sleepy. Number 10. You can't put a street value on fun. Number 9. Where the hits just keep on coming. Number 8. Bored with Beirut. Number 7. Number 7, where every jungle clearing is an international airport. Number 6, not affiliated with the Columbia School of Broadcasting. Number 5, meet Juan Valdez and tour his coffee plantation. Number 4, 10,000 money laundering Swiss bankers can't be wrong. Number 3, a 1-ounce souvenir can pay for your entire vacation. Number 2, tourists, we don't need no stinking tourists. And the number 1, a new Colombian tourist slogan, it's like Club Med with car bombs. There you go. Okay. It's now, ladies and gentlemen, it's now 1:45. 1:45 tomorrow morning. It's already well into Wednesday.
What are you saying? No one's watching.
Exactly. Well, look, we're at least an hour late here.
So why bother?
Well, no, I'm trying to think of something else to do besides this show. What, could we do something else? Just take the audience up to your place or something?
Absolutely.
We'll try and get cars. We'll be right back. And by the way, if you make it through the halfway point of tonight's show, something very, very special. I'm taking off my pants.
Yeah!
And,
Now you're talking
and
show.
Howard, what will that sound like? There you go. Our first guest is a free to see it.
What a band. Boy, those guys are sensational, aren't they?
How's Dolores?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Huh? You can never understand him. I can only understand the first 5 words Bob over.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you, Gerald Ford was sensational. Fantastic.
Yeah. Everything just kind of slides up
Hey,
the
Bert
side.
Eklund, what a set of guns on her, bro. I'll tell you, that's fantastic.
How you doing? Did you have a good trip in? Flew in from where?
I flew in from San Diego.
Great town.
I was in San Diego.
Yeah.
Initials SAN. That's what the airlines put on your badge, SAN. And it was a good flight. I was on one of those new 767s. It was kind of a bitchy crew.
Well, yeah.
Tap me on the shoulder, ask me if I'm Flight Attendant Roy.
Excuse me. Are you Flight Attendant Roy?
Yes, is there a problem in coach? I don't think that comedian boy is funny. He's driving me insane. I don't need it. Sit down. The whole flight was goofy.
Yeah.
Bitchy gone? Bitchy's gone?
No, no.
Bitchy's in, I think.
Yeah, sure. It's 4 in the morning. What difference does it make?
Exactly. It was a funny flight from the time I got on. I made everybody. I had to use the facilities, and as soon as I got, I guess they were mad because it was 45 seconds into the flight, and I'm fighting my way like this, going up, you know. And I get in there. I'm done. I'm finishing up, and the pilot comes out of the cockpit simultaneously, and we collide like this.
Right.
And I got scared because he looked right in my face and went, "Son, do you like brandy?" I was terrified for the rest of the trip.
Yeah. Might be up there having a taste.
Yeah, I had a little taste. Hey.
So, but I thought you came in early. I thought you were coming into New York early.
I came in early. Actually, I've been here for a few weeks. I went to my 20-year high school reunion. And
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school in Syracuse, New York, a place called Nottingham High School, the Bulldogs. Hey, go for it, dude! Go for it, dude! And
What exactly would they be going for?
I don't know. cheeseburgers and haircuts. A buzz cut. I like a buzz cut.
So this was your, what?
20, if anybody here is thinking about going back to their 20-year or 10-year hike, do it. It's fantastic. You see people you haven't seen in 20 years, and they're different. They change. They're not like they were. The guys that were the athletes and the handsome Mr. Class Wizard guys are now walking around going, hey, them hors d'oeuvres is good, you know. Let me tell you, Tom McCann is a big operation. I got a son that weighs over 200 pounds. And the nerds, the guys that were little nerdy guys.
Now, where did you fit in? What were you? What would your...
I was in the middle. I took no position, David. I was right in the middle. I wasn't a nerd. I wasn't really a jock. But the nerdy guys now are all the guys living in Greenwich, Connecticut, just making tons of dough down on Wall Street. And I started thinking to myself, what is the commonality? What's the common bond here among all of us? And I started thinking, we're the class of '69. Woodstock was in '69. Sure. The Beatles are coming, you know, and the Stones are back now. And I just thought to myself, we're the last vestige of really the flower children, the hippies, and the potheads. And I started thinking, God, seeing these doctors and lawyers walking around, all that goofy stuff we were smoking 20 years ago, what about if there's long-term effects from this? We'll be listening to a special report. Good evening, this is Dan Rather. Well, after 20 years of research, all the facts are finally in. It's been found that heavy marijuana smokers from the late 1960s and 1970s have now begun making unconscious barnyard noises in their conversation. We got out of the streets of Greenwich, Connecticut, and 38-year-old marijuana user, Freddie Larchmont. Hi, you know, when I'm down on Wall Street trading over 200,000 shares of AT&T, Oh, Teddy.
Oh,
we're a long way, pal.
Well,
it's a long drive.
You're doing
It's a long drive for that one.
Yeah, you got to every now and then take that long, lonely drive.
It's a long drive downtown.
We have to do a commercial. It is right here. What's new with your friend? Do you actually know Mike Tyson?
I've never met him. I guess I'm a big fan. He's just, it seems unstoppable, unbeatable, and he's only 15 years old. And
remarkable.
Yeah, he hits you, and you're unconscious the next morning at breakfast.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's. Did you see his last fight?
He
fought Carl.
The Truth.
The Truth.
Carl the Truth.
And it's funny to hear these fighters talk about him before they're very analytical. You know, say, I believe. I've looked at films of Mike Tyson, and I believe that any time at all I can take. I've studied his dynamics and aerodynamics. If I catch him with a left hook, I know I can put the man down. Then you see the Truth about 15 minutes later on his way to Saturn. Blasted off. A mercy clap.
The what?
A mercy clap.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny too. They talked to Carl the Truth Williams after the fight. Did you see the after the fight thing?
No.
And he
the
said
whole fight lasted less than 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Right?
And he said, well, I said I could continue. He said I put up my hands. I said I could. And then they showed the replay, and it was like, he's like, and then you could hear the dialogue between him and the referee. So he had to be knocked just goofy.
Yeah.
They said, can you continue to fight? Yes, I can. How do you feel? I'm sleepy. I feel sleepy. Where are you? Disneyland. Can you continue? Yes, but I'm sleepy. Get me a cop, something like that at the Y.
But at least he wasn't making barnyard noises.
No.
That's right.
But he didn't have to go that far, did he?
And you're thinking of going back to school?
I am. I went back
Really?
to yeah, I was I've always had this thing hanging over my head ever since I was in college. I failed calculus when I got into there in the classroom. I'm sitting there, and concepts were just like going. I had no idea where I was, and so I said, I'm going to pass calculus. I'm going to go back to night school out in Northridge and take it again. And I'm taking it. I had to get a tutor. I'm taking two courses. I'm taking this and the history of rock and roll. Yeah. And I swear I'm taking this. And I've gotten this tutor, and this tutor. Have you ever had a tutor? All tutors look the same. They all look like this guy.
Hi, my name is Albert. I have absolutely no genitals at all.
Oh, God. God.
And he said,
God.
I knew you'd be yelping.
Oh, God.
He's helping. He's in big trouble. Helping. He's just like Jerry Lewis. Remember Gary Lewis?
Gary Lewis, yeah, Jerry Lewis' son.
I loved him. I was just always afraid that in the middle of a song,
the Playboys,
he'd flip out like his dad.
Yeah.
This diamond ring, mala, hey, hi, hi, Will Lee.
Yeah, Will Lee.
The second course I'm taking is the history of rock and roll. And I come across this guy in Tennessee who was a manager back in the 50s, one of the biggest influences on rock and roll. He had a formula for success. And what he would do is he would take a guy that was heavy, overweight, and take that part of him and hook it up with the concept of some board game.
Right.
For instance, Fats Domino was a client. Can you think of another one? Chubby Checker. But you know, you didn't hear a lot about the guys that didn't make it, and I brought some right out of the textbook. Here's my friend here. This is Chuck Meat Yahtzee.
What's his name?
Chuck Meat Yahtzee.
Chuck Meat Yahtzee.
This is the most famous guy that never made it. This was Fat Slob Scrabble Board.
What did you pay to have these made up?
Nothing. It was your staff that did it.
Oh, man. Oh, well, there you go. You want to keep those for the album.
Nice mementos.
Yeah. And you're going to be in Sacramento?
I have a few places I'd like to mention. I'll be appearing September 24th at the comic strip in El Paso, Texas. And then October 4th through October 8th at the Improvisation in Chicago, Illinois.
Well, good.
Thank you. Mementos for everyone.
Yes, props. It's Jeff Altman, ladies and gentlemen. Vacation. Can you believe, Paul, that the summer is over?
Oh,
officially gone.
Isn't it sad?
Went by like a rocket this year, didn't it?
Sure did. I missed the whole thing.
Okay. Stay with us this late. Good Lord. We're pushing 3 o'clock now. Going to do something special for you here in a minute. A little something extra. This wasn't on the program when you came in this morning. A little something extra. Misha Paris?
A bright young singer on the scene, yeah.
Also on the program tomorrow, in most time zones. Okay, now do we have the bubble machines working? And now, as an experiment, Paul, some kind of exciting, anticipatory, tension-building. All right. Now, Al, do you have the slow-motion equipment ready? All right. Through, ladies and gentlemen, through the field of bubbles, I'm now going to fire the confetti cannon. Here we go. Anton, are you ready? Anton, here we go. All right. Look, Paul. We had deer in the yard last night. You can see their footprints running down to the road. All right, Hal, did you capture that on the slow motion device there? And if so, may we see it? Okay, there's the. See, look. There. All right. After you take a look at this, John, here he comes.
This is NBC News at Sunrise with John Palmer.
I've just been informed by our producer that this could be the latest NBC has ever been on. Yeah, that's right, because it's the Tonight Show, which is delayed, then We, which are delayed, and then Bob Costas, which is delayed. So conceivably, this will be the first time they've been on this late. And you people were here for it. And because you're in such a good mood, everybody here gets a little piece of snake. Our next guest is an honored academic and author. Among her works is the Wild Food Cookbook. Here's a copy of it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to this program, Dr. Frances Hammerstrom. Doctor, cleaned a pigeon, right?
Yes, and I'm so sorry I had to do it in front of you. I really didn't want to do anything so messy.
It made me sick. Because you broke the little thing's neck and just started yanking. Yeah.
Well, I realize you had a great deal to put up with.
Yeah.
But things are much simpler nowadays. I wouldn't think of doing anything
How did you get started eating and preparing wild food?
Well, when I was a child, I used to climb out of my window and sleep under a spruce tree. And that got me interested in the outdoors until I kept experimenting with various things.
Right.
All members of the violet family are good to eat, did you know?
No, I didn't know that. You can eat violets?
Mm-hmm. They're really lovely. There are white violets.
White violets? Can I eat this?
You may indeed.
You know, is it possible that you've mispicked one by mistake and it could be deadly poisonous?
No, I
have some kind of horrible toxin that...
No.
All right.
Do you want me to eat one first? I did.
You ate your lovely bouquet there.
Well...
Man, that was tasty. Thank you very much. Whew, boy, I had no idea.
Well, as it happened, it had a substrate.
You're melting some butter. It's starting to burn over there, Doctor. What are we going to make here? Let's just start cooking our brains out.
I am going to tell you about this substrate now.
All right.
And thank you. That is quite a mess, but that's past. There's some Cajun seasoning.
A little Cajun seasoning.
And a little butter, real butter. And a wild weed named oxalis.
Oxalis?
And snake.
And snake. There's snake meat on there?
Yes.
Wow.
Wasn't it nice?
It was very tasty.
I think so,
But
too.
you know, it's funny about snake. I'm full now. Yeah.
Well, but you can help me fix one.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, come on. Come on. Just toss it in the frying pan and let's get on with it. Now, in certain parts of this country, do people still eat the snake? Oh, you're going to make us all sick again.
Are you ready?
What kind of... Man alive.
No, this is very, very hard.
What kind of snake do you have there?
It's a fox snake.
A fox snake?
Its Latin name is Elafe vulpina.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair.
Now, I wonder whether we could, between us...
Where did you get that to... Where exactly does a person go to purchase snake meat?
I'd never thought of purchasing it.
What is just... So you're dealing pretty much with roadkill here, then, is that...
I didn't think you'd know. I think...
Whatever you get with a Buick is dinner, as far as you're concerned. Oh, well, I don't know. Do we have time to finish this up? Do we have what?
You're not really very enthusiastic about this.
No, I don't like snakes. I don't like anything about them, frankly, to tell you the truth. Save that for the trick-or-treaters.
That's why you're going to learn to like snakes.
Oh, now, what do you have in there?
This is just a dear little one.
Man. Oh, that's a... Oh, it's... No. Okay, that's cute. Now, no, don't chase me around with that. I'll look like a sissy if you do that. Don't do that. Okay, fine. Just drop it down your bra. Good idea. Man, you've been in the woods too long.
You've been in town too long.
I know. Are you going to cook anything here?
I certainly am.
Okay, put that back. Now you... All right. What kind of snake was that?
That's a little green snake, and it's a pet.
What do you...
It's known as Madeline.
You use that for cab fare, do you? Okay. We have to go away. You just cook, and we'll be right back, okay?
You're not...
Things are going pretty well tonight, aren't they, Paul?
We had a snake.
Yeah, I understand she was going to actually fry up the fish, and we didn't give her enough time to do that.
That's too bad.
But I think we've all seen fish fried before, haven't we? So it's just go and eat McDonald's, and you can watch them do it there. But anyway, is she all right, Morty? She's fine. All right. She is a lovely woman, yeah.
Snake is not so hot, though.
Well, it made me a little queasy to see her whacking on the snake, but who here hasn't done a little of that? Now. All right, stop it. Just stop it. Hey, stop it. It's 5:30. You should be getting up and going to work. Our next guest, huh?
You can work blue at this hour.
Oh, sure. She came out here and she was whacking her snake.
She was. 4:45 in the morning, for God's sake.
Our next guest is a lovely and talented actress who appeared on the Slap Maxwell program and also on China Beach. It's a pleasure to welcome her back here tonight, Megan Gallagher. Are you back there, Megan? Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for returning. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Kind of an odd night.
Yeah, snake decapitation.
Yeah. Have you ever eaten a snake?
Yeah, I did.
Where about?
In Wickiup, Arizona.
And out there, people eat it on a regular basis. Do they?
Yeah.
And how did it taste?
I think there's a law. It's like the compulsory.
You have to eat snake.
You have to eat snake once a week.
How was it cooked and how did it taste?
It tasted a little like chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was fried and it didn't have its skin on it and it just looked bad, but it was kind of okay.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. Maybe they can also just curl it up and put it on a bun. Where are you from? Are you from that part of the country?
No, I'm from Pennsylvania.
I see. And what? In fact, I think the last time you were here, you talked about, is it the Pennsylvania Dutch country?
Yeah, Amish country.
The Amish country.
Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble because I went to my 10th high school reunion and people were really mad because I said that everybody there was fat.
Oh, really? Well, that's...
And they're not, what I meant to say was that they were thin.
Yeah, yeah.
Waif-like.
Are you having a good summer?
I'm having a great summer, yeah.
Do you celebrate Labor Day at all? Do anything for that?
Yeah, I did celebrate Labor Day, but this weekend I flew in from California on Saturday, and it was by far the worst flight of my entire life.
Is that right? What?
I was bumped from my flight. I got up at 5:30 in the morning on Saturday, and to get this 8 o'clock flight, I get to the airport, and I'm bumped. And even though
you're holding a ticket, you have a reservation.
I'm holding a ticket, they tell me to go to I go to 3 different lines. I have to get on like a 10:35 flight then. And there was an 8 o'clock flight that took off, and they lied to me about it. And I didn't get on it. But
how did they bump you? Why did they bump you?
Well, you see, they don't tell you. They said that the flight was canceled, and then you sort of hear these little whispers on the wind about mechanical failure or something, and it's like, and the airport, it was an international flight, even though I was flying domestic.
Right.
So it's like Bangladesh. You know, you walk in and there's like livestock and boxes and
people eating snakes.
People eating snakes.
But you're saying that the flight took off, so they lied to you about it being canceled?
Yeah, there was an 8 o'clock flight, and I found this out at 10 to 8.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I don't know, maybe it's like a personal thing.
They would actually not tell you the truth about a flight taken off?
Well, this is what happened.
Yeah.
I tried to check my stuff at the curb, and the guy said, no, it's canceled.
It's not taken off.
Yeah. And then I went inside and stood on all these lines, and then it was too late.
It seemed like it would be tough to keep that a secret, though, that a plane was taken off.
Well, we were in the other part of the airport. So
I see. So then you finally got on the later flight, and you got in okay.
Yeah, well, no, I got in, and the pilot said, I thought I was going to get in at like 4. Pilot says, we're going to get in at 7. We got in at 10 to 7, and then we sat on the ground for an hour and a half. And they make you sit on the ground like 10 feet from where you're going to walk into the airport.
Right.
So if they just like take one of those staircases and push it up to the plane, everybody could get off, but they made us wait.
Yeah. You know, I flew into LaGuardia one time, and the same thing happened, and we taxied, and we taxied, and we taxied. Turned out we taxied over to Kennedy. We actually landed at LaGuardia and taxied to Kennedy.
Got on the Cross Bronx.
Like a 90-minute drive. Yes, it was horrible.
But at least you had some purpose. At least you were moving, you know?
Did you start your acting career here in New York?
Yes, I did.
How did that begin?
I moved here when I was 18 to go to Juilliard.
Well.
Yeah, well.
Now, is it true that they take only the best, only the most talented people in acting and music and so forth?
No. No. They try, I guess, you know. But there's always a couple of people that sort of slide through, even though they cut.
But did you enjoy the experience there?
Yeah, it was a great school.
And then what professional jobs did you begin with?
I went into John Houseman's acting company. It's called the Group 1 Acting Company. And it was great. I went all over the country. That's how I got to Wickiup, Arizona. Otherwise, I probably, you know, wouldn't have had that rattlesnake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you start doing, forgive me if you didn't, did you start doing commercials? Did you start doing
I did a couple of commercials, but not until later. I did the acting company, then I went to the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center and did new plays, so I did like a lot of, I was in a corset for 5 years straight, basically, in everything that I did, because it's all like classical theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what are you working on now? Anything interesting?
Yeah, I'm about to go and do another play. I'm going to go and do Man and Superman with E.G. Marshall, who I understand is called Eege.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. And William Converse
It's a shortening of his initials, E.G.?
I guess so.
Eege. Yeah.
Eege is what they call him.
Yeah.
I haven't met him yet. I understand he's a really
where
good
will
guy.
where will this take
This
place?
will be in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So, you know, before I was voted sexiest woman on television, now I'm hoping for sexiest woman in regional theater.
Oh, well, good. Yeah. And good luck to you and your family. So when do you begin doing that?
Tomorrow.
Oh, well, great. I'm glad you could stop by and say hello to us.
Too.
And I hope
too.
you have a nice run there in Baltimore.
Thanks.
Megan. Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much, folks, for being here. It's been an historic evening of broadcasting, don't you feel? Yeah. Tomorrow on the reading. Oh, that's nice.